That real shit, that real shit, that real shit, that real shit, that real
yes,
shit,
that real shit,
that real shit, that real shit,
that real shit,
that real shit, that real shit, sports talk. That real shit, that real shit,
that real shit,
that real shit, that real
yes,
shit,
that real shit,
that real shit, that real shit,
that real shit,
that real shit, that real shit, sports talk.
What up, y'all? Coach Smith, aka Mr. Get You Right Up in this motherfucker, man. I want to welcome everybody to the 12th episode of That Real Shit Sports Talk. I'm gonna get right into this one. I gotta start with my picks from last week. My top 25 college football picks. I had a pretty good weekend. I ended up going 11 for 14 of the games that I picked. It would have been 12 for 14, but Cal Berkeley's quarterback got knocked out in the second half. Otherwise, they would have won that game. And I would have been 12 for 14, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. My NFL picks weren't so good. To be honest, my NFL picks this week were cheeks. My picks this week were ass, homie. I went 7 for 15 with my NFL picks this week. It was an upset week in the NFL, which proves that they say any given Sunday for a reason. Whichever team shows up, whichever guys show up ready to play the most, whoever shows up ready to perform the best gets the W. It don't matter if they're at home or not, if they're the underdog or not. It just depends who comes to play that day. So my NFL picks this week were terrible, but the one bright side, I put a little bread on the Monday night game, the Steelers and Bengals. I think the over-under was 45.5. I picked the under, and the final score was 27-3. So made a little bread off that. When I was in Seattle this weekend, I put a little money on the USC-Washington game. The over-under for that game, I think, was 60.5. The final score was 28-14. I picked the under, so I made a little bread on that too. Which just tells me I might start looking into these under picks a little more often. So in a nutshell, it was a great weekend of football. I'm not gonna do any picks this weekend because I need to watch a little bit more game film on everybody. I think before I make another week of public picks. So stay tuned for next week. I'm gonna do some picks next week for sure. I gotta speak on Vontaze Burfict real quick, man. I've been saying it for a while, for about 3-4 years now. Football is getting soft, just because of the rule changes. Now I understand what they're doing. They're trying to make it a safer game, but to me, just because you throw a flag on it doesn't make it safer, you know. So he has history, yes, but I saw that he didn't have any major violations last year. So he had a whole 2018 year of clean hits, so should we say? And this was his first one. To me, it looks bad if you continuously watch it in slow motion, which we have the benefit of doing at home. Now they did throw a flag when it happened in the game, so they were looking for it and saw what they saw. But I think it was a combination of, you know, Burfict having a history and the refs having eyes on him specifically for things like that. When you watch it in real time, it's a bang bang play, homie. And again, if you play defense and you're trying to fly up and make a tackle, the trajectory of your head is hard to predict sometimes, because as you go in for a tackle, I played wide receiver. If you're gonna take a hit and you know you're gonna take a hit, you're gonna brace yourself and drop your head. And as a defender, if you've already started coming in for the tackle and your head is at a certain level, and I, as a ball carrier, drop my head to your level to defend myself, to brace myself from the hit, you're gonna hit me off top just because I put my head there, not because you maliciously tried to take me out. And I don't think a lot of people understand that shit, because I played defense in high school, so I've made a few tackles in my day. When you're especially when you're going in for a kill shot, you got your head in a certain position, certain angle, And whether they see you or not is going to determine if they drop their head. If they really don't see you coming, bow, you get to take them out. If they see you coming, they're probably going to brace themselves. If they're bigger than you, they might just try to run you over. But if y'all the same size or you're bigger than them, they're going to try to brace themselves, and they're probably going to drop their head right to where your helmet is coming in for the tackle. So it ain't malicious, man. Now, you can, you can say Vontaze has a history, and he does. You could call him a dirty player. I would agree with that. I don't think he needs to be suspended for the whole year, though. That's excessive. I hope he wins this appeal because, come on, man. This is why I said this to the homie the other night. They're making it easier. They're making it easier for regular motherfuckers to play football. Back in the day, through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s when I played, you had to be tough to play football. You know what I mean? You had to be athletic too, but you had to be tough. You had to be, I say it all the time, you got to be willing to give a hit, and you got to be willing to take a hit to play football. You got to be able to do both to be a good football player, because it takes toughness to succeed in football. Yeah, you need speed, you need tackling ability, you need catching ability, you need throwing ability, but if you ain't tough, football ain't for you. And the rules they're implementing are making it a lot easier for soft people to excel in the game. You know what I mean? They're taking a lot of the tough shit out of it. They're taking a lot of the intimidation stuff out of it, and it's frustrating to watch sometimes, man. Just because it's not. I don't think that's what a lot of people want to see. They don't want to see flags. They want to see motherfuckers getting hit. They stopped showing big hits on ESPN and stuff like that because they're changing the image. They're cleaning up the image, which I get. But I'd have to consider myself an old school football dude, and to see the game getting as soft as it is, man, is kind of disappointing. Because like I said, they're letting anybody, not anybody, but softer motherfuckers succeed, and that'll, I think, ultimately hurt the game in the long run. All right, I'm back. My bad. I had to cut real quick. Your boy needed something to drink, for real. Before I get up out of here, I got to speak on the California bill that just got passed that's going to allow student athletes to get paid. To me, it sounds like there's already a lot of misunderstandings out there, so I just want to speak on what I know and what I've read and what I think, you know? So I think let's start with the first thing. I think the first misunderstanding is that this bill is only going to allow student athletes, to get paid for their likeness, which means they'll be able to get endorsements. They'll be able to get paid for selling their jerseys. They'll be able to get paid for putting their autograph on shit. They'll be able to get paid for if they bring the video game back, things like that. But this bill isn't saying that the colleges and universities have to pay them or are going to pay them. So while I think it's great that, this is a first step, this bill specifically is only going to cater to the half dozen of superstars on your team, on the average college team. You know what I mean? Okay, let's highball and say 10. There's 10 guys on your team that are the face of the team. There's usually only 3 or 4 or 5 captains maybe, but let's say your team has 10 recognizable faces, 10 guys that ball, that are public figures. There's usually 85, 90 scholarship players on a college football team. So there's going to be 10 guys that are getting shine, that are making money off their autographs and shit. But the rest of them either are going to have to wait their turn until they reach that status, or it's never even going to happen for them. They're just never going to be that elite of a player in the public's eye. You know what I mean? So it's supply demand. Every year when I was at UW, we had picture day, and whoever the quarterback was, line was the longest. Then the running back, then a defender, a DB. You know what I mean? That's just the hierarchy of a team, homie. There's motherfuckers that are better than you, and the dudes that are better than you, the dudes that are better than everybody, are gonna benefit from this bill the most. I question how the other guys the other bulk of the team are gonna see a lot of benefit from this. So again, hopefully this is just a first domino into other things that'll lead to the universities and colleges paying these guys. But it's gonna be a thing where it's not gonna be a lot of guys getting paid from it. And I didn't mention this is only California schools and universities. So California is the first state. Gavin Newsom is our governor. This ain't got shit to do with sports, but I kind of think this is a move for votes to kind of win the black community back here in California. But and who knows, he might even fucking run for president in 2024 or some shit with a move like this, because this is big. This is gonna be some shit that if the nation may not follow, but there's gonna be other big states that follow, especially Texas and Florida. You know what I mean? Especially the other big football states: California, Texas, Florida, Louisiana. You know what I mean? There's a few others out there are nationally known for having the best football talent. So football specifically, I'm not speaking about basketball or any other sports. I'm just speaking from a football perspective. If California, starts making these moves and you see a change of the guard where guys from the East Coast are coming to the West Coast to play in mass numbers, then you'll definitely see some of these other states follow suit, because it's about money. And if they start losing money, if they start losing players, they start losing money. If they start losing money, then they're going to do whatever it takes to even the score. Everybody that knows me knows I'm not a LeBron fan. He made some comments the other day I want to play for y'all. Hopefully I'll be able to play a little video. If not, I'm going to at least play the audio from my phone. Here.
For sure, I would have been one of those kids if I would have went off to Ohio State, or if I went off to any one of these big-time colleges where pretty much that 23 jersey would have got sold all over the place without my name on the back, but everybody would have known the likeness. My body would have been on the NCAA basketball game 2004, and the Schottenstein Center would have been sold out every single night if I was there.
Woulda. You weren't, nigga. You're the GOAT. You're one of the GOATs. You're not the GOAT. I almost fucked up. I did fuck up. We know who the GOAT is. MJ's the GOAT. Don't ever get that twisted in your life, boy. But you might be the second GOAT. I'll give you that. I've never, ever denied LeBron's greatness. Ever. Especially in this era. I think he could be as great in any era as could Jordan, as could a few other dudes. So I've never denied LeBron's greatness. I just don't agree with a lot of the shit he says. Woulda. You were blessed. You didn't have to go through the NCAA process, my nigga. You didn't have to go through no application process. You probably didn't take the SAT and ACT, my bad. You know what I mean? So you didn't go through the process of the typical student athlete. You were untouchable coming out of high school, and college wasn't even a thing for you. Everybody knew you were going straight to the league. So yes, we know you would have, had you went to Ohio State, had you went to Duke, you would have sold out arenas, but you didn't. You went straight to the bread because that was your option. I'm not mad at your option, but don't speak for the dudes who had to go NCAA route.
Coming from me and my mom, we didn't have anything. We wouldn't have been able to benefit at all from it. And the university would have been able to capitalize on everything.
Pause. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I can remember being in college reading about LeBron's mom pushing a brand new Range Rover his senior year in high school. Brand new off the lot Range Rover. So if I'm wrong, somebody please drop a comment below and correct me.
That I would have been there for that year or two or whatever. So I understand what those kids are going through. I feel for those kids who've been going through it for so long. So that's why it's personal to me.
This dude said a year or two. Everybody know good goddamn well if he would have went to Ohio State or Duke, he would have been there for 1 year. Come on, man. Keep that shit real, LeBron. And shit, I'm wrong. He would have been there for 1 season. He wouldn't even finish the year. He'd have been there for a season, left, got drafted. Let's be real, man. This is that real shit sports talk. Let's be real, LeBron. So I don't want to get too heavy in that. He said it's personal, but it's not, my dude. You didn't have to go through it, and that's to your benefit. I understand what you're doing. You're trying to use your status and power to speak up for the people who can't speak up for themselves. I get it. I'm with it. But just choose your words better, my nigga, because you don't. It's not personal for you. You didn't have to go through none of that bullshit. None of that NCAA bullshit. You didn't have no hungry nights, my nigga. You didn't have no broke nights, my nigga. So to me, having been a D1 athlete, I'd rather somebody who went through that experience speak for me. On that note, I'm gonna wrap it up though. Go ahead, hit that like button for me, hit that share button for me, and if you would, hit that subscribe button for me. I appreciate everybody for watching this 12th episode. Like I said, next week I might get into some picks, a few more NFL and college picks, just to let y'all know what I'm thinking. But I appreciate everybody for watching. That Real Shit Sports Talk.